Do you feel nervous every time you want to talk to the camera? Hi, I'm Jazzy, and this is my third riff or podcast for me to practice speaking and communicate well. Today, I want to share what I noticed when I'm practicing this. Before I speak to this camera, my Sony Alpha, I do my warm up on my computer webcam. And I find that when I use my computer, knowing that I'm not going to use it, I feel more relaxed, more natural. And I can speak for 10 to 15 minutes more relaxed. But the moment I switch to my camera, knowing that, okay, I'm going to edit this, I'm going to post this, it started to get hard. I mean, it's harder for me to get my thoughts out. Maybe this is because just my second or my third practice. This made me remember this one method by Neville Goddard called the ladder, climbing the ladder, where you imagine yourself climbing a ladder a few times before you go to sleep. Right? You just imagine, make sure you imagine it vividly how the ladder feel and all that. But the next day, you're right. I'm not climbing a ladder. I'm not going to climb a ladder. And a lot of people who tried this actually climb a ladder within the week or two. I find myself when I say I don't want to do something, I end up doing it more. But usually it's like a bad habit. For example, I told myself I'm not going to watch TikTok anymore, or I want to watch just for a few minutes. And the next day I end up actually watching more. So I told myself maybe if I kind of like trick my brain instead of practicing on my laptop as things that I'm not going to post. What if I just record on my camera, tell myself, no, I'm not going to post this. And I'm probably not going to post it, but I probably end up posting it. Who knows? So maybe I'll try that. So that is the first thing that I want to share. Today, I have been trying to record for a while. Since morning, I don't know why I kept procrastinating, but I really want to get this out because again, this is just me practicing unmuting myself. And if you know, I hope it will inspire you to just shoot and share because a lot of the time, like when you just do a few of the videos, nobody's going to watch it anyway, right? And I also heard that right now a lot of people actually are more into people who are live streaming. And why? Because I think people are more in tune to natural, want to see more authentic and natural thing, right? Especially with the AI. So now I'm going to talk naturally and just see how it goes just observe, for me to just observe myself. Another thing I learned is for the first podcast, I tried to talk for I think 10 minutes, but then after that, I felt that it was too long. And then for the second podcast, I said I'm going to talk for 5 minutes. But then after I cut it, it ended up about 2 minutes. So I'm trying to um, get a feel of how long I should talk. I try not to make it too long. I think it should be around 5 to 8 minutes, depending on the topic. Because right now, I just try to get my thoughts out from my head. Another thing I want to share is about what I thought last night. Suddenly, before I went to sleep, I had this question: why do we start with why instead of who we are? Because why can sometimes influence by our environment, our culture, our parents, our family, and the things that we watch or we hear. I think need to start with who, who we are, because each of us are unique. We have our own unique frequency. Our why should come out from who we are. And to look at that, we look at our childhood and see. what do we like, what do we like to do, how do we talk, but not necessarily that, not only things that natural to us, things that we want. For example, I don't naturally talk, right? But I was really into motivational or inspirational stuff. So when I was a teenager, I really want to be an inspirational speaker, but I I don't talk much. So it's not just what we do naturally; it's what naturally we want, what excite us, right? It not necessarily you are good at it. Some people say you just need to do what you are good at. Sometimes there are certain things that you are not naturally good at first, but that is the skill that you need to get. And that skill, because you are excited to do that, you will keep going back to it for so many years. I started YouTube in 2007, so a long time ago, but I keep going back. Although I stopped, I wasn't consistent, but I keep going back to it. I keep going back to motivational things. I keep going back to guitar, right? I keep going back to dogs. For so how many years, although I'm not consistent, I consistently went back to that. So that is who I am. Although I have a lot of things that sometimes interest me, and although I have many things that interest me, I will only go back to these few things. And now I'm going to make that my focus, which means that it's not one. So you'll see a few things here, but not a lot as a lot. But the things that is connected to my frequency, to my authenticity, to my personality. So I hope you continue with me in making my life movies.